Hey YouTube. So I noticed I've attracted the sporadic attention of the thumbs down guy. Very sporadic. Not very consistent at all. But anyway, in case you see this video, I have a message for you. Okay, so on to the video. Tonight's task was to put in the patch for the Dogleg. Down here. Hard for you to see up there, but I'll show it to you in just a minute. The way I did it, I had a hole down here in all this crevice where from the factory it was all one panel, but like just in the Dogleg in this three-dimensional compound curve area, and I was very intimidated about putting in a patch there because it's complicated and didn't know how to do it. So after tackling the challenge of welding the quarter panel on, welding didn't seem so complicated to me, and I've done a few patches that were in 2 dimensions, or with a relief cut 3 dimensions, but pretty simple. This was like try to weld a patch on the inside of your cheek. So what I had done, for the people that are following along behind me and haven't done this kind of work, I took a piece of cardboard and I smooshed it in the hole. Cardboard about the right size, and I just pressed it into the hole to see what shape it would take. And then I brought it out and I did some cuts where I had some overlapping material. Oh, it looked like it was way too high there, so I snipped it with the scissors, stuck it back in there, and repeated that process until I could repeatedly take whatever template I had and could reliably, repeatedly get it to fit right. Then, when I felt confident about this, the first one actually, transferred that to steel and did all my pre-bends, brought it back, tried to test fit it, had a lot more pre-bending to do, which is a lot of pounding and bending on the vise. A little bit of swearing doesn't help, makes metal softer for some reason. And then when it was time to finish up the shape, I welded it on what I had determined to be a fixed edge. Like, this will be the part I'm going to start from, work from here, and then work all the complicated bends out from there. So I tacked this edge in and then pounded the crap out of the patch beyond my pre-bends and got it to fit this complicated curve, which is, I really can't imagine a more complicated curve, because it wasn't just a curve this way and a curve that way. It was like this little pucker in here, and then this edge goes back, and this kind of comes around, and this had to follow the contour of the quarter panel, and to try to trim that ahead of time so that it was a butt weld all the way around, I'd be in therapy with all kinds of drugs and not anything that you would want. It wouldn't be fun, and add a jacket. So it's a lap weld all the way around, except for where it meets the quarter. That's a butt weld. Let's see if I can get you a good look at that. Video splice here. Okay, so here's the butt weld along this edge. That's the edge I fixed while I pounded in the rest of the patch, which is lap welded on. So a lot of weld around the edge so that it was all melted together, solid metal, so I could grind it down and have a decent profile. So, I mean, if you look, you can see where the patch is, but hopefully that will disappear under a skim coat of filler, and nobody will really notice. So it's solid, that's the main point. Unnoticeable is the rest of it. So after the quarter panel, that wasn't so intimidating. I was really worried about it, and I pounded it out in, I don't know, 2.5, 3 hours, something like that, from planning to executing and finishing up with grinding and everything. So if anybody wants to know how I did that, I can do a separate video upon request. But it was basically template, repeated fittings, transfer to steel, pre-bending, repeated trial fittings, welding a known good profile or edge in, and then pounding the crap out of it into submission until I could weld it in. That's basically how that went. So, what's next? I've got to get the motor and transmission pulled, clean the engine, paint it, put it back in, put on painted parts, finish detailing the engine bay. That's done. Then something that can be done at the same time is body filler straightening on the car, then spraying, which will be, I think, epoxy, sealer, primer, base coats, clear coat. 2 base coats because I have to put on blue for the rally stripes on the hood and deck lid, mask those out, and then white for the rest of the car, and clear coat. And that's basically it, except for the interior. I may treat the interior differently in that it won't necessarily have to be ready for May of next year for Becca's graduation. I'm just going to see how it goes. So one of the things for this car that's important to me is to demonstrate the possibility of the YouTube Garage Gang for the world. I'm a beginner. I'm a novice. I hadn't done any of this stuff. When I declared my intentions for this project, was June 13th of 2012, less than a year ago. And I'm already way, way deeper into it than I thought. And I may even be finished before I thought I would be. And that's because I had lots of help from the YouTube Garage Gang. It's not because I'm smart, it's not because I'm thoughtful or lucky or whatever. I listened to people who knew more than I did, and I did what they said. Because, you know, I couldn't do this on my own. You kidding me? Serious? So anybody can do it. And the YouTube Garage Gang is a powerful thing. And this car is supposed to be a testament to that. Not just to get Becca to her nursing graduation ceremony, but it's to show the power of the YouTube Garage Gang. For a novice to do all this body mechanical painting work on a car himself in his garage, come on, serious? Really? That's not me, that's us.